Is finance a good career path for owning a business or franchise? In today's video, we're going to go through if it is a good option or if you should just go right into entrepreneurship. So first, what is finance? Also related industries. We're talking about working at a bank, investment banking, even consulting. It can be a really phenomenal starting point for those that are graduating school. You'll have experience across different industries generally and all different types of companies, understanding how those companies work, especially from a financial and accounting perspective. So no matter whether the businesses are successes or failures, you working in finance are going to understand and learn from those different business models, business ideas, leaders, and so on. You're going to build generally accounting skills, relationship skills, sharpen your competitive edge, as well as just being around top talent, really smart minds. There are a few different case studies of those that were working in investment banking, working in hedge funds that went into the franchise space with great success. One of those cases is Anil Lalal and Neil Wadhwa formed Legacy Capital Partners, and they acquired 10 Wendy's restaurants. For those that are unfamiliar with the Wendy's brand, owners often make $300,000 or more operating in a Wendy's location. Since their acquisition of the 10 Wendy's restaurants, they've grown the EBITDA by almost 60%, leveraging their experience in finance, and they raised customer satisfaction scores from the mid 70s to the low 80s. So whether you're buying 10 Wendy's, starting your own franchise brand, or just starting with one, when working in finance related industries, you're forced to face all sorts of risk. You have the risk that you invest in an equity and it goes way down and you lose your job. You have the risk of trying to assist a company that's going to IPO and list on the stock market, but failing to get interest from the investor community. You can fail in the mergers and acquisitions process. This is a high stress job where your job security is not so tight depending on the role that you have. So through this everyday training, you know how to deal with risk and you're assessing risk and you're pushing through with potential failures daily, weekly, or monthly. So a finance career is going to contribute really well to owning any type of franchise business, gives you multiple perspectives on the management, big willingness to take risk and accept failures, where a lot of other jobs that you graduate from university, your chances of getting fired are not that high compared to if you're going to work at a Wall Street bank, a hedge fund, a private equity fund. Because if you're not performing, whether it's for a month, quarter, or a year, you're out the door. So with finance, the stakes are really high and there are a lot of lessons learned going into entrepreneurship. So whether you start with a side hustle or go all in and owning a business, the mindset of being a business owner is different. Even, if you're coming from finance, your mindset's gonna change drastically being a business owner. Some believe they're born that way to be a business owner. I think it's more over time and we're creatures of our environment. So if your parents are entrepreneurs and people around you are entrepreneurs, business owners, you're more likely to kind of catch that bug. Where if all your friends and everyone around you is going into an industry, is working at big companies, you might just not catch that entrepreneurial bug and cultivate the entrepreneurial mindset. So I think it can be learned over time, but in summary, finance is an excellent way to get a ton of knowledge before you take the leap into business ownership. And we've interviewed numerous franchisees as well as franchisors that did come from a finance background, including the founder of the Made This franchise system that we recently interviewed, as well as I'm going to include a link of an interview we had with a franchisee of Mosquito Hunters that continues to maintain his job at a very large financial institution. So we'll include links to those two successful entrepreneurs in the franchise space that came from a finance background. I mentioned the two other investors that came from the hedge fund space that bought 10 Wendy's and are growing that empire. But it is a great background to have. And if we look at the historic success of those that I've interviewed and read stories on, the experience in finance has translated well, especially to business ownership and the franchising space. Do you know anyone that has a finance background that went into franchising? I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email at patrick@vettedbiz.com or leave in the comment section.